The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as Ambassador Kelrith of the Vexian Empire finished reading the human application for membership. Across the holographic table, representatives from 73 species waited for her response. The crystalline being from Theta Prime dimmed nervously. The methane breathers from Kagoth 7 shifted in their suspension tanks. "This is unprecedented," Kelrith said, her triple-jointed fingers tapping against the datapad. "Humans wish to join the Council, yet they come from a death world. Their planet's gravity alone would crush half the species in this chamber." "That's not the concerning part," growled Catharn, the Dravex representative. His obsidian scales rippled with unease, and several Council members leaned forward. When a Dravex showed concern, everyone listened. The Dravex were the galaxy's apex predators, six-legged hunters with reflexes faster than thought, claws that could slice through starship hull plating, and a hunting instinct refined over 10 million years of evolution. "Then what is?" asked the Pelleran delegate, her golden feathers ruffling. Catharn's crimson eyes fixed on the holographic image of a human floating above the table. An ordinary specimen, no natural armor, no claws, no venom sacs, no exoskeleton. Just soft skin, blunt teeth, and those unsettling forward-facing eyes. 3 cycles ago, Catharn began, his voice low. The Dravex hunting fleet received a distress call from one of our colony worlds. We suspected pirates. When we arrived, we found something else entirely. He activated his wrist display. The image shifted to show a crashed cargo vessel, human in design, surrounded by dense alien jungle. The human's ship had crashed on Korvax Prime, a world my people use for training young hunters. Gravity 3 times Earth standard. Atmosphere thick with spores that dissolve unprotected flesh. Predators that make Dravex look like prey animals. "How many humans survived the crash?" someone asked. "All of them. 47 crew members." Catharn's claws extended involuntarily at the memory. "They survived 6 local weeks before we found them, in an environment that kills trained Dravex warriors within days." The council chamber erupted in disbelief. Catharn silenced them with a gesture. "When we tracked them, we found something that still haunts my clan brothers. The humans had not merely survived, they had thrived. They built shelter from the wreckage. They identified edible plants through trial and error, accepting that some of them would become violently ill to determine what was safe. They tracked and killed a Korvax ridgestalker." Gasps echoed through the chamber. Ridgestalkers were 4-ton ambush predators with chameleonic skin and neurotoxic fangs. "Impossible," the Pelleran delegate whispered. "I examined the corpse myself," Catharn continued. "They used primitive weapons, sharpened metal from their ship, fashioned into spears. They dug pit traps. They studied its hunting patterns for days, sleeping in shifts, never letting their guard down. Then they executed a coordinated attack that would impress a Dravex strike team." He paused, his membrane-covered eyes distant with memory. "But that's not what disturbed me most. When we found the humans, they were grateful for rescue, certainly. But they weren't relieved. They weren't traumatized. One of them, their captain, actually seemed disappointed the experience was ending. She asked if we had survival manuals for other hostile worlds. She called it camping. The word hung in the translated air, meaningless yet somehow ominous. "I don't understand," said Ambassador Kelrith. "They're clearly persistence hunters. Those forward-facing eyes, the upright posture for distance tracking. But they lack all the standard predator adaptations." "That's exactly the problem," Catharn said. "We Dravex are apex predators because we evolved every advantage. Speed, strength, natural weapons. We're perfect killers. But humans?" His scales rippled in what might have been a shudder. "They're not perfect at anything. They're not the strongest, fastest, or most poisonous. They don't have the best senses or the most efficient metabolism. Then how?" "Because they don't stop," Catharn interrupted. "Ever. We investigated further after Korvax Prime. Do you know what humans did on their own world, before they even developed spaceflight?" He pulled up another image, an ancient human with primitive clothing jogging across an endless plain. They hunted by chasing their prey until it collapsed from exhaustion. For hours. In the heat. Without stopping. Earth's animals would literally rather die than be chased by humans. And when their prey developed the good sense to fear them, the humans invented new ways to hunt. Traps, projectiles, domesticated other predators to hunt for them. They turned wolves into pets, added a human voice. Everyone turned. Ambassador Sarah Chen had entered the chamber, her credentials having been approved for this very discussion. She smiled pleasantly, but several representatives unconsciously retreated. Wolves, she continued, walking to the center of the chamber, were apex predators on Earth. We befriended them, or rather, we broke them over 20,000 years until they loved us. We did the same with horses, birds of prey, even plants. We genetically modified everything around us until our entire planet became a tool. Catharn gestured in agreement. After Korvax Prime, I researched human history. Your species faced extinction events, ice ages, volcanic winters, droughts. Each time you adapted, you didn't evolve new traits. You invented solutions. You created clothing, controlled fire, built shelters. When your environment tried to kill you, you made it serve you instead. Is there a point to this? Ambassador Kelrith asked, though her tone suggested she already knew. The point, Catharn said, is that the Dravex Empire has a standing order. Never hunt humans. Never pursue them. Never trap them on hostile worlds. Because humans don't just survive, they learn. They adapt. They remember. He locked eyes with Ambassador Chen. On Korvax Prime, your people were grateful, cooperative, friendly, but I saw how they watched us, studying, cataloging our weaknesses, not out of malice but instinct. The same instinct that turned their entire planet into a tool, and I realized humanity isn't dangerous because they're strong. They're dangerous because they turn everything into a weapon, including their own weakness. Ambassador Chen's smile never wavered. We prefer to call it adaptability. Call it what you will, Catharn said. The Dravex have hunted for 10 million years. We know prey when we see it. We know predators when we see them. He turned to address the full council. Humans are neither. There's something else. Something that doesn't fit our categories. And that terrifies me more than anything I've hunted in my entire life. The chamber remained silent for a long moment. Finally, Ambassador Kelrith spoke. The council will vote on humanity's application. But I suspect, she glanced at Catharn's tense posture, that we'll approve it, if only because having humans as allies seems far preferable to the alternative. Ambassador Chen nodded graciously. We look forward to a mutually beneficial relationship. As she left the chamber, Catharn watched her go, his every instinct screaming, predator, predator, predator. But his 10 million years of evolution also told him something else, something that overrode even the hunting urge. Never chase what refuses to stop running. Never corner what has no fear of death. Never hunt what hunts back. Never pursue humans.